Well, hi there, and happy summer. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And this is Home Wizards, where we love to help you enjoy where you live, whether it's in an apartment or a condo or a house. No matter where it is, we want you to make it feel like it's home. And Eric, as a contractor, you've worked with a lot of wood in your day.
Yeah, wood is my life.
What is your life?
Wood is my life. It's the most amazing material because it's easy to work with. You know, the tools that are designed to work with it are so efficient and effective now, and they make such great hand tools and cordless tools that are smaller yet more powerful. So this has never been more accessible to everybody. So
Would you say that you're a woodworker?
I would say that I can be. Yeah. I mean, I was a tile guy for years, and then I started framing, and then I started getting into making furniture, and yeah, I guess I am.
And I ask you because it feels like there's like this whole like elite thing, like if you're a woodworker, you've got to be something special, but it sounds like we can all be
it's a special, we're in a special club. We wear these fancy Shriner hats that say woodworker on them. We meet secretly.
Exactly. Yeah. So we can kind of take that myth out of the, out of the equation.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a level where not just anybody can do it because it's artistry. You become literally an artisan, right? You're a guy or gal that really has taken it to the next level in terms of your understanding of what types of wood work for what application. If you're a furniture maker, precision is really expected, and you've got to have all these seams line up where there's no detectable cracks. You have to learn how to sort of meld wood grain together, bookend, if you will, so that it becomes continuous. And, for example, in these amazing cars, the Bentley car, my kid and I were in there a couple of weeks ago in Pasadena. We were looking at the Bentley dealership, and inside the woodworking is so exquisite. It's one piece of wood that goes from the back left front door all the way around the front dashboard and then all the way back to the rear right.
Like a yacht almost.
It's almost like, it is. It's exactly that. It's almost like, how they do the beautiful boats, right? Uh-huh. And then they store a matching piece of wood for your particular car for, the duration of the car. So they're actually,
just for backup?
If it ever gets in a crash, they can rematch this exact thing, right?
Wow.
So, I mean, the guys and gals that work on those cars or these specialty items and furniture and cabinetry are so talented.
It's another level.
That it's another level. It's museum quality.
But
right?
You're going to take us to that level just beneath that.
I'm going to take you to a place where,
just beneath the Bentley.
Let's beneath the Bentley, and I think I want to start with wooden spoons.
Perfect.
And kitchen organizers, right? Because here's what
Wait
you
a
can
minute.
do.
We're not going to have a whole single piece of wood?
No, we're not.
Okay.
And
right.
maybe the tool that you bought, the wood spoon that you bought, is one single piece of wood, which I would assume it is. Things as simple as just dipping the ends, the handles of those wood spoons or kitchen tools and utensils into a little quart of a color that's vibrant and looks really pretty, and then bringing it out again and letting it dry exactly where it went in the can. So the handle essentially is a painted wood handle, and it kind of gussies up stuff you already have that you may want to give a facelift to. So that's a nice simple first step.
And we would probably need to tape it though, right? So it's nice.
Yeah, you can,
sharp.
or just go straight down to the bottom of the can and then hold it there momentarily, pull it out, let it drip off, and then just put it someplace where it can stand upright. Jiggle it a little bit, right? You're looking at my hands as they're being held up in the air right now.
Yeah.
You think I might have Parkinson's?
No.
Yeah, I think it might be too much coffee. No, but just hold it there for a moment, right? And then as it's dripped off, right, you can flip it around and put it on the spoon side down and let it dry at an angle. Okay? That's number one.
Oh, okay.
Number two, here's and I'm bringing you in slowly.
Okay.
I'm coaxing you into the world
We're
of wood.
learning and growing, getting
That's
more confident.
Right.
So we could do that with kids.
You could do that with kids
that's easy.
right now, easy.
Done.
Okay. Number two, I know that gals out there and guys might have some jewelry, some things that they hang around their neck.
You have something to hold your glasses.
Well, this, by the way, what you're noticing and probably in awe of.
It's a lanyard.
It's a lanyard that's made of leather, but it also has a little ring around the end, and it can be a fashionable,
it's a statement.
fashion-forward statement, but what is it really?
It holds your glasses
Thank you.
so you don't lose them.
That's exactly right.
So
anyway,
so
if you have that and you want to hang it at night,
yeah.
You see these in the jewelry stores and the boutiques all the time. Just a piece of 1x4 wood that you might find that's even driftwood if you have it, or something that looks a little more antiquated and worn. Then you take some tree twigs that are in the shape of maybe a Y, little maybe 6-inch long that are about, I'd say, a 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Keep them natural.
Like a slingshot look,
yeah, exactly,
right?
like a slingshot look. Keep them natural or paint them with some fancy colors if you want. And then you simply drill holes, let's say maybe a 1/2-inch hole in that piece of wood that you have that's laying flat on a counter. You drill with a drill bit. 1/4-inch holes, and you space them out evenly, maybe every 6 inches, along maybe a 2-foot piece of wood. And then you simply put those twig ends with some glue, some woodworking glue, which is essentially like Elmer's glue, and you just stick them in there, and that ultimately, when it dries, is going to be hung on the wall, and guess what? It's going to hang all your jewelry.
It looks great.
It's amazing.
And what I love about the whole idea of using, especially an antiquated piece of driftwood, it kind of gives it that aged, like you bought it.
That's right.
At some antique store.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Now I'm going to move on to something a little more complicated, but equally as unbelievable. Think about, if you will, you're finding kindling on your property, and you're going to take those pieces of wood that are all irregularly shaped, and they're different diameters. So you might have twigs that are 1/2 inch in diameter. You might have stuff that's 1 inch in diameter. Even it may be a branch that's just fallen from your tree. You're going to take the straightest pieces you can find, and you're going to cut them all to a length of about 2 feet, right? And they're all going to be exactly 2 feet long. What you're going to then do is you're going to lay a first course of these out on a table.
A mat or something?
On a mat or a table, right? And then with each piece of wood that you have, the cylindrical piece, you're going to glue them together so you'll make like a mat of these twigs. And that'll be your number 1 row, right? And let's make it 2 feet long by 2 feet wide, right?
And what's our goal?
And your goal is that you're going to then, when that layer dries, maybe in a couple hours or the next day, you're going to lay another layer on top of that, and you're going to build that up to the same height as an end table.
No.
So at the end of the day, it's going to look like you've stacked twigs perfectly.
Hold on. We have to talk about a little bit more on this.
Isn't this amazing?
This is great.
Come on.
Hold on a second. We're going to get into more of the details of things you can do with wood, including Eric's great tree branch table.
That's
We're going to explain it a little more thoroughly because, this is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards. We love to make you feel good and improve your home and improve your life.
Tell me more, did you get very far? Tell me more, what does he have
Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
I'm Eric Stromer.
And as you were saying, talk about this gorgeous tree branch table.
Tree branch table, I love it.
Set it up again from the beginning.
It looks like, it looks like The Hobbit went mid-century. It's kind of cool.
Oh, that's a good description.
Yeah, so basically you're taking these from 1/2 inch in diameter to 1.5 inch in diameter branches that maybe have fallen on your property, and you're cutting them all to the exact length of 2 feet. You're laying them out on a mat, and you're creating random sizes to create the first level and layer. So you'll use wood glue, and you'll glue your 2 foot wide by 2 foot deep layer of these twigs together. Don't glue the outside edges. Come in about 1 inch on all sides so that you're not seeing glue at the edges. It's only in the center, and you're gluing these little tiny branches together. You want to be straight, long, and true.
So this isn't a day project. It sounds like every day.
Every day you could do
layer.
this. Yeah. So basically, if you're doing 2 feet high, over the course of maybe 2 weeks, you'll have this thing.
So that's fun. Like, hey, today I'm going to do layer 2.
Layer number 2, right? So you'll do this over a period of time. So by the time it's done, it'll be end table height, which is roughly 2 feet high. So it's a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot cube.
A cute cube.
Of twigs that you've glued together to
nice
create
table.
this amazing thing. And then on the top of it, if it needs to be flat so you can actually stack things on it that stand perfectly, you can have a piece of glass cut to literally just lay right on top of the twigs, and then you're good to go. And
that
you can put little
cute.
Rubber feet on the bottom of the glass so that it doesn't move around.
Oh, that's
the
a good
twigs.
idea. Yeah.
But it really is a beautiful, cute thing.
Could you put little casters, little wheels on the bottom?
You could, but I think it'd be better served just
Flat.
sitting flat
Okay.
like it is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Will it be hard to move? Is it kind of heavy?
No, it's not too bad. It's like a bundle of kindling. So,
Okay.
maybe
All right.
20, 25 pounds.
Really
something like that.
clever.
Isn't that
Hobbit
great?
meets mid-century.
Hobbit meets mid-century, yeah. And then here's another idea for an end table. A big, nice log that you might have outside. Again, cut that to the height of end table height. And the bigger, the better for the size and the diameter of that particular table. It would be beautiful. All you're going to do here is have that cut to the size of an end table. So it's going to be about 2 feet high in terms of a log. The diameter maybe is going to be, 1.5 feet if you can find something that big. That would be great. And then you flip it over and you have your bottom side facing up. You're going to drill 3 holes in the bottom, straight into the bottom of this log. And then you're going to get some dowels that are made out of metal or stainless steel, anything that you can find. And those are literally just going to insert into the bottom of that log, and that becomes yet
Those are the
another
feet, basically.
tree stump side table.
Cute.
Right?
Now, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
When you are drilling holes into this trunk,
Yeah.
does it shatter?
No, if it's a big enough piece of wood, it won't shatter at all. It'll receive the drill effectively.
Oh, it'll receive it.
Yeah, so don't worry about
And
that.
then is there a certain drill bit that we would need?
You're going to want it, whatever's slightly larger than the diameter of the legs that you decide to use going up into the tree stump. So
these
if
legs-
so let's say it's an inch in diameter. You want to use an inch in diameter or slightly larger hole
Okay.
that you can drill into there, and then they'll just pound in with a hammer, and it'll be like 3 things sticking out of the bottom of a tree trunk.
And what if we wanted to make sure that the trunk, it maybe had more of a sheen or
Well,
something?
then here's what you're going to do. You're going to use tree wax or brie wax. Any of those finishes are fantastic for something like this.
Okay.
And you apply it with steel wool, and you just rub it
Nice.
onto the tree stump, and then just give it along the grain a little rubbing up and down, and it gives you that sort of waxy finish to it.
So I have visions of a lot of people now who are listening, taking that weekend walk, seeing in the neighbor's
Yeah.
yard, there's a nice little trunk that's just kind of sitting on a little
Right.
stub.
That
they
could
look
be an
over
end
to the
table.
left shoulder, they look over to the right, they go, go for it.
Get it, grab it, take it off his lawn. He'll never know. He doesn't care.
Or maybe go when it's dark.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I bet you could even kindly ask your neighbor, and they probably would say, take it willingly.
That's right.
It's
You're
trash.
right. You're right.
But
you're
what a
right.
clever idea.
Isn't that great? Here's another great thing. So find a block of wood. It can be irregularly shaped, or you can make it more geometric if you cut square cuts off of it.
Okay.
It can even be an old beam, for example, that you would see in framing construction. So let's say it's about 12 inches by 12 inches. It's like a block of wood, right? And then again, find pencils that you're going to use, artistic pencils or pens. Get the diameter of that pen or pencil with your drill bit, coordinate those two sizes, drill straight down into the top of this wood block, and guess what it becomes? A desk organizer for pencils
Oh,
and pens.
my goodness.
Right? Almost looks
Yes.
like a butcher block that you would use to put knives in.
Very clever.
But pens and pencils are
So
sticking
right
out of it.
now, I'm feeling like I'm a woodworker.
You are. I can see it already in your
I
eyes.
feel it.
You've lit up a bit.
I feel
right?
confident. Can we make more things, please?
Why not? Why don't we try another hanging device for your bracelets or
Okay.
your necklaces?
Okay.
Again, a piece of driftwood. All you're going to do, is
Yes.
get some knobs that you'd find at the store that you would put on your
Right.
cabinets.
Oh, the hardware bling. Little hardware
bling
Oh,
right
my
through that
gosh.
thing. And guess what? You're hanging your gold and your silver chains off of it. It's on the wall. Again, you've made it yourself. You're right. You're on your way.
And how do we get those little knobs in there? We're just
Drill a hole right
We're
through.
gonna drill it
the
in.
same diameter or
And-
slightly larger of the cabinet screw.
and then how do we adhere it? We'll
From
just
the back, you push that screw toward the front.
Oh,
a
we're gonna
little,
screw
little
it?
bit
Oh,
is
okay.
sticking out, and
All
then
right.
you screw that knob on just
Okay.
like on a cabinet.
love it.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Hello?
It's so cute.
You've done it yourself. And those
Okay.
can be, different, knobs that you find at those stores. They sell them at, Anthropology
Mm-hmm.
or at whatever store you're thinking of going to buy those things. Isn't that a nice idea?
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
And the list just keeps on going. What about garden bed stakes that are going to identify your plants? Now, we've talked about popsicle sticks, which is easy, but what if you again take these twigs you find in nature and you just whittle a piece of the bark off, maybe 2 inches down from the top, so that you're exposing the bare wood underneath? Well, on that bare wood with a colored Sharpie, you're going to go ahead and write your parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Pluck that into the earth right there, bam, done.
And you could buy those, but why not make it?
I don't know why you wouldn't. You
You
could
know?
even sell them at your garage sales or your local
See?
garden fairs and become a woodworking genius, right? Do you love it?
I love it.
The list is going to keep on going if you wanted to. Right?
I do.
Okay. I'm just, you
I'd
got
like
a bag.
I'd like to make
I'm
some
not
more
just gonna-
furniture. More
Okay, good.
furniture, please.
Well, how about a headboard made out of
Oh.
old barnwood that you find, or reclaimed pieces of
Ooh.
wood that used to be flooring or siding can easily be affixed to your wall in strips. So it's like, let's say you've got 1 by 4 inch slats of wood. You can just literally start from the bottom behind your bed, the same width or slightly wider, and stack it as you go. And you can screw into the wall or just nail into the wall in layers with a little wood adhesive as you go, and just stack it up all the way as high as you want to go. That's a really cool look for a headboard.
It is.
And all you have to do is slightly sand it so there's no splintering that's coming off. And you can even just kind of, give each of these pieces of wood a different color of wash with a thinned out paint color. Have you ever done that with wood?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so it's great. So say, for example, you've got sort of that ashy old wood that
Right.
you found somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And on each piece, you're going to maybe get 3 different colors. You can get a color, maybe yellow, red, or blue, whatever you want to do. If it's more whimsical for a kid room, those would be great colors. If you want to do something a little more refined for a bedroom, you could even get into the gold, copper, and silver tones. And if it's water-based, you just pour some of that paint into a bucket, right? And then just add a bunch of water to thin it out so it almost looks like watercolor consistency. It's just like colored water essentially, right?
I see.
With a rag, take those slats,
So
right?
it's very milky and thin, huh?
Very thin. Take a rag
Ah.
and then just kind of rag it on with the grain. And you're going to get
Pretty.
really sort of opaque color
Sure.
tones, right?
Very artsy. I
and
love it.
And I would actually do, if you have a pile of wood that's maybe, 75 pieces, split that into thirds and then take each pile and do it to that particular pile, so that now you've pre-stained these wood slats, right? So that you already have done this and you don't have to do it while it's on the wall. It's already done, so that you just alternate every color as you go up, or maybe do 3 rows of blue and then do a yellow and then a red and then 3 of, so it's staggered,
Oh, very
random.
pretty.
And that ends up looking really, really pretty. It ends up being something that these headboards are so easy to do because you're just affixing them to the wall and the bed's going to slide right up to it, and it ends up looking just great. And it's really substantial, large. It can be really tall as well. Either side, you got some nice art, and you've created a bedroom scenario right there for free because you found this wood. It was reclaimed. What's the matter with that?
Maybe we could even make a clock out of just a slice of a wood that's from one of the trunks that we took some of the
See,
wood.
here's look what's happening now. Your brain is
Now
starting
I'm
to activate.
innovating. I'm
You're
brainstorming.
innovating and you're creating. You're a woodworker. This is exactly what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Right? And they sell those clock mechanisms
At the
that can-
craft
that-
stores.
At the craft stores, and you can drill a hole into a piece of wood. Mm-hmm. The motor's on the back, the hands are in
battery
the
in.
front. Done. End of story. You've created a clock out of.
And you could what could you do to the front surface so it looks really clean? That look.
That would be a clear varathane finish, something
Love it.
that's brushed on, and it gives you a slight gloss, yellows it a little bit. Before you know it, you've got yourself a fantastic homemade woodworking clock that you created yourself. Why? Because you activated yourself.
Happy Father's Day is what you're saying.
Thank you. I will receive with gratitude.
We'll put all this on the website
Yeah.
as always at yourhomewizards.com. Great stuff. I love
You're jumping
these
in.
wood
That's
projects.
it.
Say, we are all woodworkers.
Yep.
I thought I was a wood don't worker.
No,
I'm
you
a
are not.
woodworker.
You are empowered
We're
now.
trying. Eric Stormer, Cindy Dole, thanks for hanging with us. And remember, you can always find us on our website at yourhomewizards.com.